Sometimes scientists don't have the organism that they are investigating right in front of them. Because it's winter, we're going to make our own flowers out of crepe paper to make some observations. So the first thing you'll need are some scissors and the crepe paper that is cut into the shape of a petal. Then you can use a different color of crepe paper, construction paper, or even a little bit of tissue. And you can see I have 2 green leaves here. You can use one of your pipe cleaners as a stem, and don't forget the glue. So the first thing we're going to make is called the spadix. Glue this onto the end of your pipe cleaner. The pipe cleaner is going to look like the stem. You don't need very much glue. We're going to gently roll this part so that it sticks onto the stem or the pipe cleaner. You might need to try it a couple times. Add a little bit of extra glue to the end to keep it in place. Next, we're going to attach the stem to the petal. This petal part is called a spathe. You can attach it by adding a dot of glue and then just gently sticking it to the side so it doesn't quite fold over. This type of flower that we're making right now is called a calla lily, and they have these beautiful gently curved spathes. We're going to add a dot of glue onto the other side and then just gently pull that up to attach. It doesn't quite fold over. Now we're ready to try the leaves. This is kind of the shape of a calla lily leaf, but if you'd like to try out some other shapes, you're welcome to do that too. Now put a little bit of glue along the pipe cleaner so that it wraps around there nicely. And when you first put this on, the leaf is probably going to be a little bit floppy, but it'll stiffen up as it dries. It might be helpful for you to look at some photos of calla lilies so that you can see what they look like. You can add a second leaf if you'd like to, but you don't have to. If we were out in the field, we might first observe these flowers and sketch them, and then create a model when we got back. Here's your finished calla lily. The next thing we're going to do is create a new stem for the next type of plant that we're going to make. This plant happens to have a stem that has a funny word. We call it a penduncle. You can start rolling this paper. If you'd like to use a toothpick or a kebab skewer, sometimes it makes it a little bit easier to roll. And you can see I'm rolling along the diagonal. Roll the paper up from one end all the way to the other and secure it with a little bit of glue. The next thing that I did is wrap some of this green crepe paper all along the edge to make it look like a green stem. Think about all the different nutrients that gets transported to the rest of the plant from the roots by the stem. This is happening in the bean plants that you're growing and observing, even if you can't see inside of the stem. This next type of plant that we're making is a lavender flower. You can see that we're using a different type of petal. The little buds are called a calyx, and the curly petals are called corolla. We're going to just slice these into little connected strips without cutting all the way through. I'm going to fast forward here so you can see all of our strips. Then we're going to roll them up. You can use a pencil to get some of the edge rolled up and started. You can see that this might make some bigger curls. If you'd like to, you could also pause the video here and go find a toothpick. That's another thing that you could use to roll up those edges. You're going to want to roll every single one of those little strips. Now we're going to attach this to the penduncle or stem. You can use a pipe cleaner like I'm showing here, but you can also use the penduncle, the paper that you rolled up. In lavender plants, we're going to make sure that those curls or the little buds of the blooms are facing away from us. With crepe paper, remember, you don't need a ton of glue. Notice that when I'm rolling this, I'm actually shifting the curls down a little bit as I go, almost like on a diagonal. You still want those corolla, the petals, to overlap like little layers. This gives you the shape of the lavender. If you observe lavender out in a field, you'll notice that it's not all even. Always end with a little dot of glue to hold it in place. Now we're going to get some leaves for our lavender plant. This time we cut the crepe paper almost like sharp teeth. Remember, you can pause this video at any time and go ahead and work on yours, or rewind if you missed something. So we're going to attach this to our lavender plant and glue it on so that these leaves overlap a bit. If you wanted, you could actually add green leaves all the way down to the bottom of the stem. This top part of the lavender without flowers is called a spike. Now there you go. You have two completely different species of flowers made from crepe paper that you can observe or share with a friend or someone in your house. In order to find out more or to see more about the steam packs, please visit us at www.ovmod.org/steampacks.